Alright, hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. It's time! Bleach. Now, this chapter was like a... Ooh. And, I don't know, this gets a 4 out of 5. But, this chapter was weird. For me, anyway. I was like, huh? Is this... It just, like, happened out of nowhere. Like, out of nowhere, it just hit, like a ton of bricks. Because, I know we had for last week, we had the ending of that with, Ichigo said goodbye to Zangetsu. But I just found it weird. I guess he just showed up there for no reason. I guess it was just a continuation. But anyway, let's get into this. This was called The Blade and Me 2. Chapter 541. In the beginning we got, Ichigo saying memories coming rushing back at that time. The first time we crossed Blaze, it felt like I've been summoned there. Been summoned there. And pretty much... He says, up until now, I've been avoiding trying to realize the entire experience. I was never given any information, yet I was able to arrive at the same, at that exact location. Why did I assume he was a primary adversary? Furthermore, why was it that when I first stared into his eyes, he reminded me of someone else? And we see Ichigo's, I don't know, man. Ichigo's face was like, huh? Like one of those dumb fuck faces. Like a face that I just look at, I'm like, oh, come on, he's not gonna cry, is he? No! But no, he didn't. He didn't cry. I'm like, okay. It was just like face. I was like, come on, man. Come on, Ichigo. Man up. Come on. Zangetsu, he says, the blade of B2. Cry that resonates. And page 541. And he wants to explain to him... He says, explain yourself, Zangetsu. And he says, it is as you were told. In addition, my name is not Zangetsu. And then it's kind of funny. When he said that, the whole world started, because it's in the Zanpakuto world, started just crumbling. I was like, wow. I was like, reality seeks in, And he's crumbling and stuff. And then he was like, so you were Yuha Bak. You were never really Zangetsu. What I am is the manifestation of the Quincy powers dwelling inside you. I am Bak, and at the same time, I'm not Yuha Bak. And he's like, what the fuck does that mean? He's like screaming and shit. So, pretty much from this chapter, what I gathered is, yeah, that's what he is. He's not really, he is Bak, but he really isn't, because he's just the manifestation of Ichigo's Quincy powers. And this entire time, he's been kind of thwarting, like holding Ichigo back. That's what I got from this chapter. Basically, he was preventing him from getting his full potential. And I'm like, damn. One of those. And he's like, oh, you my enemy or ally? As everything you told me up to have been a farce. Answer me! And he's like saying, I'm not your enemy, I'm not your ally. However, my wisdom and fortitude was never let you astray. My only deception has been telling you my name. Ichigo, have you really not noticed it this entire time? Saying that, and this is a good point that the Zangetsu brings up. Well, I should say non-Zangetsu brings up. The entire time that Zangetsu's been teaching him these techniques and all this other stuff, think of it this way. It was really his hollow powers who came to save him when he was in a jam. Basically going on, says, all those times I taught you the eccentricities of Zanpakuto, I used the powers of your hollow. Which is true. That's what he did. He used the powers of his hollow. Not including non-canon filler. But yeah, it's true. And when you were unable to wield the Zanbakuto, those times when your life was in mortal danger, the one responsible for saving you was never me. It was your hollow. And then there was a picture when he says it's your hollow. You see a picture of when he fought Ukiura, and he had the full hollowification. I hope when he takes the sword, new Zanbakuto, he looks like that. If his Bankai is like that, holy shit. Holy shit. I would flip out. Flip out! Like, seriously. But that's what he's saying to him. And it makes sense. I mean, it makes perfect sense. I mean, I'm Zangetsu. Yeah, you go talk to Nostradamus. He trolls people with that 8-second video. Saying, but hey, no one knew that this was going to happen back then. But anyway, moving on. He's just surprised about it. He's like saying, I never wanted you to become an actual Shinigami. For that very reason, I did everything in my power to suppress your potential, even going so far as to be your primary source of power. And basically he's saying Zangetsu's kind of acting like a father figure? Like he's saying, I was trying to protect you? I'm like, what? Protect him? That kind of went off like, I was like, huh? But yeah, he's explaining that and saying, you know, keep you out of harm's way. Becoming Shinigami means risking your life and limb. Was exposing you to numerous perils. You would experience pain, and you would writhe in suffering, and I would eventually die. You would eventually die by my hands, very hands. He's basically saying. He brings out the sword, and he says, I could never allow you to be a Shinigami. Doing so would mean that I would have to take your life. So this just goes to show you what I also noticed about this sequence of events here is it goes to show you the animosity between Quincy's and Shinigamis. It is conversation because the fact that Zangetsu, the fake Zangetsu, was preventing Ichigo from becoming a Shinigami proves how crazy this is, how big this war is. He's a manifestation of Ichigo's Quincy power. And he's preventing him from becoming a Shinigami by imposing his will. I'm like, wow. That's awesome. That's some pretty crazy shit. And he says, oh, so I thought, and he's like saying, as time passed, you eventually became a Shinigami, you jumped at the chance, trained digitally, you know, that old bit. You continue down that very path. And he's saying that, and those times I saw you struggle and preserve, I must admit, it made my heart waver before I knew it. Instead of trying to impede your progress, all I wanted to do was to help you and watch you succeed. Even now, even if it means doing this, I'm more than happy to relinquish my hold over you. Ichigo, you've become strong. This is going on about that, saying next year I've watched proudly as you become a man. The pride I feel is undesirable. I'm finally at peace. Yeah, he was acting like a father figure. Fake Zangetsu. I'm like, what the fuck? Where is this coming from? Yo! It was almost, I don't want to reference Naruto here, but kind of like that. Kind of like that. Like he was a stopper. He was the seal. Like how, you know, when you have, and I don't want to bring up Naruto, but I'll bring it up briefly. You know how, like, Kushina was there when Naruto wanted to get the full power of the Nine Tails? And that's kind of similar here. In a way, I'm not going to say exactly, but in a way, it's similar with what's going on here. And the only bad part, like I said, I think the only bad part about this chapter was that it was too short. So, for this week, so. And you see Ichigo saying, hold on, so I get this other chance. And she was like, he's saddened and shit. And I'm like, oh, come on. And he sees Zanbakuto. This Zanbakuto, I'm telling you right now, there's no question. It's white. There's no question. It is white, white, white. No question. And he says, Ichigo, what I've been wielding up till now has only been a fraction of your power. A fraction I was unable to suppress. The time has finally come for you to fight with your own true power. Take it as yours. This is your real Zanbakuto. That is the real Zangetsu. And then just see a blinding flash, and that's the end of the chapter. So this gets a 4 out of 5. And the thing with Zangetsu, the fake one, he's acting like Ichigo's parent. I'm like, yo, what is this? But we got our reason why. King of Lightning was saying we don't know how. The how. That is a good question. But it really the point of this thing is that this fake Zangetsu was basically pretending to be his main power source, which in fact he wasn't. He was using the hollow powers of Ichigo. Ichigo's hollow powers to train him. So, all this time, hollow fight Ichigo, hollow Ichigo. He was the main thing. I'm Zangetsu! You know, that's true. He was. I mean, and I want to reference one thing as I lift up my shirt. You guys take a look. See how here... I can't really see it. Think further. See how, like, Ichigo's blade, as I'm showing it to you, you have the white part and the black part? Well, that kind of clues you in. I mean, to a good sense of the meaning. Clues you in, because the white part is on the bottom. Think about that. And I should have thought about this earlier in the series of Bleach, but it never occurred to me. It's on the bottom. So that means that that part was supposed to be on the top. But he never got it. So instead, he was using the abilities of a Quincy this entire time. Never realized it. But now he's been given the abilities now of Zanpakuto. And I thought this chapter was pretty good, like I said before. I just thought it was very weird and strange. Zangetsu, like, when did you become Ichigo's father acting like this? Like, where you grow? I was like, whoa, what are you doing, man? But it was kind of emotional, and I just didn't feel like seeing Ichigo. Like, Zangetsu! I'm like, come on! Let's move on from this, please! But I like the explanation. That Zanpakuto is going to be Beast. I can see it. I want to say that I don't know if it's going to be like, it's just going to be like the opposite of the original of what he had before. In other words, instead of just a black Getsuga Tensho, it's going to be a white one. Or maybe like white flames. That might be true too. White flames would be interesting, people. I would like to see that. I really would like to see that. And if when he goes Bankai, maybe he'll transform into Holofy form. Ooh, I want to see that shit. Oh, that would be awesome. That would be so awesome. But overall, I give this a 4 out of 5. Not One Piece next week, but we get Bleach next week. So that's going to be good. Gotta wait. I can't wait to see this reveal. This reveal is going to be awesome. Bring back the awesome sauce, because the awesome sauce is going to be flowing down the riverside, people. This is going to be awesome with gusto. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, like I said, this was a short chapter. And, you know, I referenced Naruto a little bit because of the fact that it seemed to me like this Zangetsu, the fake Zangetsu, was being a deterrent, was being a seal, was only giving Ichigo a part. Sorry. So, yeah. But, yeah, that's the story. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. That's pretty much it. So yeah, because like I was referencing the Naruto thing, but it's similar in a way. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys. This is Bankai 922. I can say one chapter if you left. Probably not doing it today. Doing it later tonight, which is a Kami ga Kiru. That I have to go into detail with that one. That one was, oh god. That one. Oh my god. Wait till later tonight. I'll go in on that. That was just ridiculous. This is Bankai 922. I'll see you guys later. White Sambato. Let's go.